Hi, fire signs. Welcome. So, I already pulled two cards from that random sort of puzzle fortune jigsaw puzzle tarot for some new imagery. So, what came out was first the Fool, and the Emperor was on the bottom. I think you're like supposed to follow the arrows or something, but I don't know when you stop. It didn't come with instructions. Um, so again, some sort of like foundation. Looks like. Which I guess speaks to the Emperor, some sort of meeting place, something of like a bedrock or the foundation to whatever it is you're working on, your mindset, having a sturdy mindset. And the Fool, just is taking a leap of faith, jumping into something. The Emperor, very small cards. It's being open-minded, I think, to whatever comes through and whatever there is to discover. So, that for each one, I just found this bag, I found all this stuff tonight, so I found this bag of buttons. I thought maybe some color inspiration for fire signs. Got some sort of like orange, coral orangey, I like it. Another sort of same color, similar, more pink. It's kind of black. Interesting, kind of looks very much like arches in the background here. Think of arches, cornerstone, the middle stone that holds it all together. Is that what it's called, cornerstone? And some sort of teal, iridescent teal. Reminds me of like Barbie girl or something of that. Spandex. Iridescent spandex, I don't know. So yeah, for fire signs, it could also be like red and blue and black. And yeah. But it's come through before the Fool, or Ace of Rods, Ancient of Days, the beginning of something. The Fool is being open-minded again, like just setting out on some sort of journey, maybe the Fool's journey. So maybe taking what you need. Think of the Emperor, and if you watch the introductory video, talk about Norse mythology and Odin, and how sometimes there's an emperor who has sitting on a chair that has two ravens carved into it. And people have likened those ravens to like sort of satellite drone type things, because he said that he sent them out and they would report back at the end of the day, like everything they saw happening in the world, where he was in the God's planet area. I don't know. So just having some sort of eagle-eye view of something too. Usually he's on a cliff, the Fool, about to, is a little bit elevated, about to step off a cliff, about to not being a lemming, being in control of things, taking control, taking the initiative. Aries, the Emperor, also Capricorn, and but just anything. Usually that's I associate with Aries. So again, just taking the initiative, taking the first step towards something. So let's pull one from Archangel Oracle deck and see if there's any carryover themes from the last few months. Angels and, oh, I have a card mixed in. It's weird. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of the Thrones of Earth. Didn't mean for that to... I shuffled all these before for the first... really... I shuffled these too, so I don't know how that got mixed in. It's so weird from the Hermetic Tarot. By the way, I don't like stage anything. I have some sort of like idea of which card decks I'll use maybe, or kind of go with it. If there's any sort of talking points that I think would help people understand, but I don't plan anything. This isn't staged. I think it's more fun that way for me as well. And, you know, so let's see. Oops. Let's focus and get one Archangel guidance card. Oh my God. Take back your power. Archangel Raziel. Okay, that's like really... I have all these decks here and like had to move the table. Claircognizance. That's that just knowing sort of feeling, which I think the Emperor kind of has that vibe of just sort of knowing, being sort of steadfast in something, having that claircognizance of just knowing. Also like the 3 levels of knowledge. I've talked about this before. I'm going to forget the philosopher, but I haven't thought about that in a while. But claircognizance and that knowing feeling of it's a different form of, you know, maybe you have some like spiritual gifts that are opening up or something like that. You know, you're just becoming more aware of things. Really tapping into that knowing feeling when you just know something to be true, and that also kind of speaks to perceptual learning. So I think of like going into your subconscious and things that are deep and being able to pull from that and get the gist of something that's similar to that, just knowing feeling, like you maybe not know all the details or know why you chose something or what the right answer is, you know, factually, but it's more about just going on that sort of knowing gut feeling that is sort of informed, whether it's on a subconscious level or not. Archangel Uriel, pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. Just take back your power and claircognizance. Yeah, the things that pop into your mind and not just dismissing them as like, oh, it's just a random thought, because it's coming from somewhere, whether it's your subconscious or something. So, I have so many decks here, and I pull a rune card for each element. I'll put link or something below for this. For fire signs, vice, inspiration, partnership, 2. I think this is Gabo, a gift. I could be wrong, but 2 swans, 2 the heart and the full rainbow spectrum. Some sort of big wave in the background. Kind of looks like this cliff in the background that the full is on. So journey, fool's journey. There you go. That is, these don't have an, actually this is Rado, I think, yeah. I don't have the book up here. Usually, I like the ones that I find online better, but sometimes the book has some, I don't know, we'll see. I can put some things there, but I just feel like, again, sort of like carving out, creating shapes, lines, Aztec lines, allowing shadows, contours to create shapes, maybe focusing less on the overall shape of something, and focusing more on like creating shadows and then letting that create some sort of silhouette that's a little bit different or new, just from the mountains. And this also reminds me of, I mean, this is Norse, the runes are, there's a whole story about mountains and young warriors and the women that used to live. I'll have to find a link for it and put it below. There's a lot of cloud 9 too. Layers, levels. Finding the clear way through something. Yeah, inverse shapes also. See what those things create. These almost look sparkly. But 2-2, and that becomes the Emperor 4, or numerology wise. Just notice all the like lines here, and just again like very simplified out, almost like color blocking, but I don't know, not exactly what I'm thinking. Just thought of an air vent. Getting some fresh air. These kind of interesting pointy boots. Yeah, I just see so many arches and so many circle-y type things. So it reminds me of the Three of Pentacles, Three of Discs. It's about some sort of planning, again, foundation, laying foundation, the blueprints of something. It popped out a lot while I was watching the Da Vinci Code, because they're always like looking, trying to figure out some sort of cryptex or something, and in churches and things like that. So, again, some sort of, partnership, coming together, going on a journey, maybe together with someone else. I think of just like seeing eye to eye, a gift. It's a marriage of something too. I think Gabo, it's, a big cross, big X. So it's the, again, cross point, meeting point. Maybe you're going on a journey to meet somewhere or meet someone or find out something. I feel like whenever, especially if I'm ever in like a funk or something, not even like idea or creativity always like pulls me out of it. It's finding something, maybe this is what it's talking about, finding something that to be curious about. And that usually pushes me forward, or pulls me out of something, gets me excited about something again. So maybe the smallest thing, but how it could relate to everything else, maybe is on your mind or where you see yourself going, but just finding something to be curious about, finding something new to be curious about, to look into. I also want to say something that complements something. All right. Let's pull one from the Art of Life Tarot. One card for fire signs. Also check out degrees in your chart. Maybe it'll talk about which any of these numbers, maybe they match up with the degrees in your planetary degrees in your chart, your natal chart, and maybe those areas of your life are areas to look into, those houses, maybe they tell you something. Wheel of Fortune. So sometimes I think of the astrology wheel with this, and it's Fortune, Fortuna. And that was Greek for when the gods conspire on your behalf. To everything, there's a season and a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Ecclesiastes 3:14, Zodiac by Alphonse Marie Mucha, 1896, Czech Republic. I just noticed Libra, first sign that all the signs there, but I just noticed Libra at the top first, and that kind of reminds me of the balanced partnership from 2 to 1 or 1 to 2, dividing, adding. All her little doodads and earrings, it looks like snowflakes, and I found all these earrings today, and it was like kind of reminds me of it, a little Art Deco-y, and this one's cool too. It's like this curved sort of thing, so you can kind of wear it up. It's backwards. Wear it up here. They're all so far away, can't get them, but for some reason this reminds me of this, like, I use it as a paperweight. I think it's for like housework or something, but I think it's cool, and I like it. Very like simple, very, I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of this. So again, sort of like interesting shapes, and there's so much like tapestries and nature creating shapes, outlines, silhouettes of things that you wouldn't normally utilize, maybe as starting points for design or something like that. Just create new shapes and put them together, see what different silhouettes you can make, and then simplify down again. Fortune. So again, things maybe conspiring on your behalf, things working out, going with the flow, going time, maybe something with time too. Maybe time to go, time to travel. Fool talks about travel too. This game of chance, maybe giving someone a second chance, giving an idea a second chance, giving yourself a second chance at something that maybe you thought was done and over, but what this kind of reminds me of, but sort of big copper plate. We have all these big copper, like, I don't know what they're, I think they're not copper, they're some sort of metal, but from Turkey. These big sort of plate type things, trays that each one member of my family got our names and things like that inscribed on it, and it's like hung on the wall. So just sort of like, I think, different uses for things. I want to say like just something that is normally like a tray, like this. I don't know if you can see it. That thing. Actually, my uncle made it. It's interesting how like engineering and arts and crafts sort of overlap. He's an engineer for Boeing, or he was, but he was very arts and craftsy and like built a house out in Whidbey Island. Practical Magic is filmed there. Big, gorgeous cabin, and in the middle of the forest, and he made that tray. It's a tray, but I think it looks cool on the wall. Kind of makes me think of Henry Moore, maybe. Yeah, sculpture, Henry Moore. Very like interesting sorts of shapes and silhouettes. So maybe taking inspiration from sort of abstract sculptures. On the bottom is the Chariot. Do not go where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. I feel like, especially for Aries people out there, and check out where you have Aries in your chart, or where you have fire signs. But again, taking the initiative and leading the way. The Balloon by Paul Merce, Hungarian National Gallery, Budapest, Hungary, Ralph Waldo Emerson. So again, more travel, and from an elevated perspective too, seeing down, seeing the big picture, aerial points of view, taking a hot air balloon ride and being able to see, I think I took a picture of a big mountain, looks like a big heart from the air in Cappadocia. So different vantage points giving you different shapes and different angles to work with. Looks like he's dropping something. So, I don't know if it's anything to anyone, but it's very dry brush strokes. Overlapping dry brush strokes in those like pale colors that were coming through in the introductory video. Creating some interesting patterns or something. Very like, yeah, pastel, dry brush strokes on fabric or something, or meant to look like that. Chariot, though, it's number 7, and it's a victory. It's some sort of success. It's bringing things in, pulling things together, making something go one direction when there's 2 different ways to go. Seeing the clear way through something. So finding, again, that meeting point, the conjunction point. The Wheel of Fortune, I think of, target, practice kind of thing. Maybe Jupiter, because of fortune and luck and Jupiter. I just say target, shooting your arrow into a target where you find luck, Jupiter. And I think I put a video for that, Jupiter and Aquarius, but you can go to her channel and see in the supplementary playlist again and see all the different signs. I have Jupiter and Aquarius, so that, I just kind of pick one or something, and then you can follow that. But yeah, so where you have Jupiter is where you will be the luckiest. Like, for instance, it's, even though I have Jupiter aspecting my 5th house where all my planets are, like, which makes it lucky to, like, sort of gives me some good luck to come up with ideas and things like that, I think. But I personally can't make myself lucky because Jupiter sits in the, well, not being fatalist, but like, there is a difference that I can tell and see. Jupiter sits in my 7th house of partnership, 7th house. And doesn't just have to be romantic partnership, even though this looks romantic, like any kind of partnership, collaboration kind of thing, where you're working with other people, someone else is involved. Goes from your personal life to your public life in the 7th house and on. And I can tell I bring luck to people that I work with, and things that like I've invested in or something, like those usually do well. It's weird. I don't like get obsessive about it, but it's, yeah. In relationships in the past, like long-term boyfriends, they've always gone really lucky with, like, whenever I've gone with them, like a little good luck charm. Someone called me their lucky star. It's very, very noticeable. It's weird. So maybe you should look and see where you have Jupiter, maybe the 7th house, what you have going on there. Maybe some sort of gift coming in, or some tidbit of information that just makes you feel lucky and good and fortunate. You know which direction to go in, which way to spin this wheel. Yeah, it happens all the time. Like, a friend will be like, which, like, pharmacy, where, buy those lottery tickets, like scratch off things. Oh, that one looks good. And they'll win so much money. And then I'll go and I won't win because I can't make myself. If there's other people involved, then it like is enhanced. It's so strange. And I feel like when you know to look for that, it's interesting to see how that manifests in your life. But Jupiter, again, is all about expansion. And also maybe you're part of fortune, too, which enhances whatever house it's in, and those planets. Which is actually where I have that as well. So I think of the cross, and talking about the Da Vinci Code, and Aries Scion, and the cross. Yeah. Pull another card from this deck. Which, oh. You can see it. It's the Four of Wands again. Seven of Wands. For fire signs. So maybe things just taking shape, taking form. It's the Page of Pentacles. Right, so again, a little nugget of inspiration, nugget of luck, nugget of fortune coming in. To give something up. To go up to something that is just a little bit of, it's like a piece of gold. It's earth. It's something like maybe some sort of offering, usually. That's what it comes through as for me. But it could be a message coming in. Pages are messengers of your talking about things going on in your life. It could also be a younger earth sign. Maybe some practical energy. The Emperor, like maybe there's a good balance of energies for you. Fire signs between earth and fire. I was watching something on that. Feather in his cap and some sort of brooch with this bray and peacock tails. And transforming into a bird or something. Or maybe that's just standing behind him, I think. Yeah. Also kind of blending in with your environment. Just, again, getting outside. And Four of Swords is on the bottom. So lying down sometimes, just meditation, a break, time out. Also understanding something. Maybe something is happening that helps you to understand something better. Rest. I think it was upright. Sometimes when it's reversed, it's like an unrestful situation. But it can also be a prayer. It's usually in a tomb, too. Maybe give hope or something. I see the sun on his big disc. It's not normally there. So the sun, maybe you have the sun in Libra or something, and you're watching this because you have like moon and, fire sign or something. But again, usually I think of fourth house, the minor arcana being representative of houses too. So that is Cancer. Swords might have something to do with an air sign. Just clearing your head. Again, something having with your mind. Maybe giving something up in order to gain something. I think I did say that quote before. Man is no fool that gives up what he cannot keep in order to keep what he cannot lose, or something like that. And all those words, sort of, the Emperor, the Fool. Maybe there's some sort of sacrifice. Maybe you need to, do some sort of trade sort of situation thing to, bring something in that make room for something that wouldn't have room otherwise. in your life or in whatever it is you're working on. Maybe just getting a good night's rest. Thoughts and air. I also think of Capricorn with the page 2 being the first of the people cards. On a top deck, 6 of Swords just kind of popped out. And maybe on the cross because I said it's an X, but cross center point. You know that the theme for Met Gala coming up is religion and fashion, and that's kind of cool since this has been a theme here, so right on target. Also science, and there's all these different swords, so getting to the point, all these different angles, geometry. This is Aquarius. So, 6 of Swords, though, can be moving on, going with the flow, short trip somewhere, cross channel, channeling, moving towards a smoother direction, getting on board with something, someone, carrying some things with you, traveling, moving, anything like that. So maybe you just need to like move around, get energy moving, getting your thoughts moving, projecting a little bit sometimes too. It can be taking like a mind trip somewhere. Swords have to do with your mind. Maybe a scientific approach to something, a methodical approach with the page. Be trying to incorporate some more structure, like the Emperor structure, into whatever it is you're working on. So that can be the underlying, like, sort of foundation that keeps it all together, and all these disparate parts maybe can come together and find some sort of logic behind everything. Cross can also mean like leaving the baggage behind, moving on, moving forward. Fire signs. 10 of Cups. So this is the total fulfillment of something. It's, happy energy. It's something just, there's those in family. Looks like sconces though too. So maybe some sort of like opera house. This is Mars. Aries, Mars, aggression, action, doing, initiative, leaders, things like that. Maybe at home or something like that, since there's usually with like family here, but it can just be like, it's like your highest aspirations coming shapered. Also, taking cover, I found some interesting different meanings for these cards. You're under a rainbow in a field, usually, so it's like taking cover, umbrella. Reduces down to 1 though, and so I feel like it is your soul, the Fool can be like the soul of something, and for the Emperor and the 4 of Swords, sometimes your soul, that's what comes through. So sort of like underneath your clothes, or Kira. But yeah, 1 comes down to you. So like usually think of summer with this. So maybe I think resort collections now. Taking a trip again. Just getting to some warmer weather, or but 10s, between our cards. So again, it's like kind of finding that like this clear way through somewhere, and moving to smoother waters, and moving home or something. But this is like ultimate dreams coming true. Stars on the bottom. So again, it's like your highest hopes, aspirations, things that you really, your soul longs for, the happy ending to your story or your project or whatever, things just coming true. Like, it's kind of like a hallelujah kind of moment. So the star, it's like shining light on something, it's guiding the way, the path, like the Fool. These like curves kind of thing, like spiral. Again, more of that Aquarius too again. So thinking outside the box, realizing there is no box. Again, more like prism type things. You're reflecting different light shapes, and made me think of a picture with Isaac Newton, is it? That just made me think of gravity and the Fool, the jump. The apple, and I think he was part of the Priory of Sion, or in the movie at least. But actually I found on this ring from my grandma from 1930, her initials inscribed, which I didn't realize because it's GLK. She actually, the strength card, I talked about this in the last reading, but her name is Leona. Well, it's actually Grace Leona, but strength card is about having, higher mind, Grace. But she switched her name, so Leona Grace. So I didn't realize that this was hers for the longest time. But there is, it's probably, I think it's a scholastic ring, so this would probably make sense that there's an apple, but yeah, it has an A on it, a little apple inside, and 10 carat. So I think of things hidden below, like a carrot, actual carrot, below until something's ripe and ready to, so taking care of something, nurturing something, waiting for that perfect moment, like the Wheel of Fortune, to just sort of jump into something, that'll like catapult you towards this desired outcome. Maybe going to a play or something like that, getting some inspiration from a play, thinking about how that translates into your life, into modern day. I give like King Solomon's ring, just because of the S here. I don't know what it stands for. I think it's an S. Yeah. And 2 torches, like think of the Olympics and South Korea. Which one should I do now? The winged enchantment for the end. Maybe I should pull one from the Hermetic Tarot. Oh my gosh. And see what other information fire signs need to know. Princess of Wands. There you go. Princess of the Shining Flame. So shining light again on something, just letting yourself or whatever it is you're working on shine, let it out there. So any of the fire signs, and this one again is sort of like Center Rose. She always has her little tiger with her, which you can see in the videos. Aries, flames. She has some sort of like major helmet on. There's all these like pleating and things by her skirt, which are interesting. These look like dripping flames, or I think they are supposed to be maybe like melting wax and up art or something back here. So again, kind of like that surrealism, things melting. Maybe someone or something is like melting your heart. Star of David here to MC Escher with these cards always. And the Empress is on the bottom. So we have the Emperor and the Empress for fire signs. Daughter of mighty ones. And I think some sort of eagle and flames and balance and stars and so again, creativity and fire, passion, fun, things like that. Maybe mother too. Empress can be talking about some sort of like mother figure also, or just someone who's very archetypal, like feminine person in your life. My mom is an Aries. Actually, most of my good friends have been Aries people. It's funny, actually. Maybe I'll end with a story about that friend. So the Empress, though, is just really like finding a unique, creative way to go about something. Really trying to think outside the box, like Aquarius, and maybe take a different path or a different road or something that just gets that you end up in the same place, but it is not end up in the same place, but like I'm trying to say, like taking the back road or something, just giving yourself a new perspective, a new landscape, a new experience, just anything like that. Let your friends help you. And flirt. Send your lighthearted energy to others. So again, just kind of being lighthearted, not like worrying too much about things, knowing that everything's going to work out, and sort of like crystal ball here. Flirting with something that you like. It doesn't have to be a person necessarily. You can just kind of flirting with an idea, flirting with I think of collaboration type things. They're also sitting in front of a church and some sort of sculpture and arches in the background. So it's like sort of half veil things. Interesting. New form of doesn't have to necessarily be a veil. It could be a hat or something that's like half these flowers and half a hat, turbans, wraps. Like 1700s too, in a way, like the Empire waist, Empire waist. The Empire, building your empire. I was going to pull one from the Pixie Lenormand. Did I already do that? No, I have not. This is the Pixie Lenormand, and it combines all, typical imagery. So, fire signs, maybe to sum up all the different cards here. The ring. Ace of clubs. I think we got some aces before. The flowers on the bottom. This does represent some sort of, I'll just go with this one because I want to keep these sort of short. Some sort of corporation though, or town hall, or six of spades. A lot of sixes, and so maybe life path. Looked into your life path number. Just adding up, one number at a time, your entire birthday. I don't only know this because mine is a 6, but it's all about, just nurturing something, someone, just being very family oriented and things like that. See what the ring means. I think the star, the sun's on the background, and 25. It's positive. Contracts, civil union, commitment, kind of like the partnership sign over there. Commitment, connections, cyclical engagement, internal ring, marriage, partnerships, promise, relationships. Full meaning. Let's see that. Beyond the obvious implications of marriage, the ring stands for all types of contracts and partnerships. So again, like 7th house partnerships. A binding promise is made with this card. Just what is being pledged is found by the cards around it. So the Tower. For love, those of you here for love, engagement or long-term commitment, career, new regulations at work, new contracts to be signed, characteristics, qualities, dependable person, a bit of a rounder face, timing, ongoing, image card, so things ongoing, just like kind of the Wheel of Fortune and the Fool, just this sort of never-ending sort of a process maybe. Much to be said in terms of arts, the most complex of the images of the deck, the gifting, again, gift, like the partnership. The gifting hand is, of course, from the Ace of Pentacles, like the Page of Pentacles, as is the outer circlet of the ring itself. The card gives meaning of material possessions. Topping the ring is the crown from the Queen of Pentacles. That's funny because that was what kind of popped out or was stuck in that deck. Set with all the stars from the Star card, a hopeful arrangement indeed. Crowning the background is a sunburst from issue 9 of the green sheaf, colored with the texture of the angels' wings and the lovers. That's a lot. So a lot of partnership, getting together, maybe brainstorming. Again, that circle, and the Wheel of Fortune. Just everything sort of being cyclical and understanding timing and understanding one thing leading to the next. But it ends up being a 7. So again, partnership and collaboration type things, and kind of looks like, I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of her headpiece a little bit, just all these things coming off it. So so it's a good opportunity, something to jump on. Again, like the Fool, making sure you don't miss that opportunity if something comes your way. I was going to pull one of these flower cards. Again, maybe it'll help further develop a colorway or something for you. Bluebell. This is Shakespeare's Flowers. Thou shalt not lack the flower that's like thy face, pale primrose, nor the azure harebell like thy veins. Cymbeline, the 4th. Deep purple and green. Bell, too. Church bells. There's so many church type architecture. Bell shape, resounding. Also, I think of gravity and the bell. Resonance. sometimes, again, ongoing, ringing the bell and you can hear it reverberate. So something ongoing, something that leaves a trail, kind of like the Fool, or yeah, I mean, I do think of like perfume and just sort of like slow motion, something that just is like leaving some sort of color trail or something. That makes sense. King of Hearts. So King of Cups, and like the family man kind of guy. This comes through a lot when I think I'm like, it's like a grandfather type. Again, I think I mentioned this before, and Swedish side, Swedish. So maybe again, Norse mythology, Swedish, Midsummer Night Dream. Nine of Pentacles on the bottom, savory. Here's flowers for you, hot lavender, mints, savory, marjoram, winter's tale. About to be winter. Montana. All these like kind of like delicate little flowers. Some sort of delicacy, maybe. Little precious things I think of. Talking about the Da Vinci Code and Ace of Cups, the Holy Grail. The Empress did come up before. That's sometimes associated with more like adding maybe more feminine or like petite floral kind of things. Miniature too. Again, all these like sort of delicate little trinkets and doodads and things like that. Maybe decluttered or something. So let's pull one from the Winged Enchantment. Here, I'll go with this one because I don't know about that one. This is 12, Finch. Autumn colors. I am Finch, the diversity of experience. I'm a million facets of reality. I'm eternal spectrum of color. I exist in a myriad of ways and bring the magic of alternatives. I am a high energy of restless anticipation. I am new direction and choice. I am your clue that it's time to switch things up and sample the flavors of life. Take the road never traveled. There you go. If you are stagnant, I will be there with opportunity. If you've seen it all before, I will change the landscape. Without change, everything stops. I'm a million paths you could take like the Fool. It's so weird. I'm the urge to try something new. I'm the joy, like the King of Cups, fans joy. Joy of a free and adventuresome way of life. I am the flurry of endless activity. You are ready to leave the comfort zone and mingle with new realities. You are abundant in curiosity. You're active change. You're blending experiences. I like that. You are Finch. I think these little cute birds. I always wanted one. Thought I could keep it in my locker. Have a bird as a pet. But the other night I heard something just kind of like drop, and it was on my porch, and there's no like beam or anything like for a bird to be sitting. I don't even know how it got onto this like under area, covered area, but it was a little bird and it was dead. And it was so little, so cute. It felt so bad. All these intertwining like roots coming out of her head. So again, like shining. Layers of feathers here. Almost looks like she has like cat whisker face paint on. But yeah, so it was very weird to see that. I don't know where it was, almost like it was thrown or something. Because I don't know how it got there. They're so cute. Almost like mosaics. These leaves are like creating this like sort of mosaic pattern with all these tiny little leaves on the bottom there. It's like fragmented breaking glass mosaics and dunes. Sandstone, sea glass, got leaves, but maybe just the shape or the outline of leaves and the negative space in the branches here that would make a cool pattern or something. Yeah, so was I going to tell a story about my friend who's an Aries? We made a lot of stupid decisions. Not like bad, but just sort of, we just got ourselves into trouble all the time. Like we were referred to judicial affairs our first night of college with my freshman roommate. But like, of course, like no fault of our own. Like our third roommate came like crying into our room and we were getting ready to go out. We like had our like little juicy bags and 17s. We thought we were so cool and getting ready. And I was like, my dad just had a heart attack. I have to go to Dallas. We go find my boyfriend, and because we went to a Baptist sort of school in the South, and so we had separate dorms and like visitation hours and things like that. And it was past that, but emergency. And our floor had already gotten done with our whole like initiation meeting, saying like you can have guys in your dorm room like certain hours, that kind of thing. So we were like ready to go out, we're running through the boys' hall, and all the guys are like, oh my gosh, there's girls. And we find him, we bring him downstairs, and we walk straight into one of the meetings that was still going on. Right as he says, girls cannot be in the dorms past like 8 or 9 or something on certain days, and it was definitely like 10:30, and we were like, it didn't look right, 2 girls were getting ready to go out to a party, and this guy looked like he was like caught in the headlights, and we got written up, judicial affairs. She's an Aries, always coming up with the great ideas, somewhat not great, but kind of that like, let's do this, and then I kind of bring in that sort of Sagittarian, expansive, like, yeah, and then we can do this and this and this. And yeah, it's always fun, that fiery sort of sparks each other, I think, and it's always energetic and like uplifting, I think, to be around fire people, fire energy type people. So lively too. So maybe just introducing some like liveliness into your atmosphere, your environment. Again, switching things up a little bit and taking the road not traveled and enjoying different alternate realities and seeing beyond things, seeing outside of things, seeing the big picture, and letting that big picture even, change too, evolve as you take in more information and evolve and develop something that you're working on. So anyways, I hope this was helpful, fire signs. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and thanks for watching. Thanks for being here with me. Bye.